Hello there and welcome. I'm Bob Proctor. Do you know, over the next few minutes, you are going to have some absolutely incredible information shared with you. Do you know, I could go back many, many years, 55 years ago. I was one lost soul. I was sitting in a fire hall in the suburb of Toronto, and a man gave me this book, and he said, if you do exactly what I tell you, you can have anything you want. Well, I didn't believe that. But I believed he believed it. And so I thought, I'm going to do exactly what he says. I have never looked back. I have earned millions of dollars. I've had an absolutely phenomenal life, and it just keeps getting better. I have no intentions of slowing down. I'll be 82 here in a day or two, and it just keeps getting better. I got the energy of somebody that's 32. And you know, what you're going to hear over the next few minutes is the essence of everything that I've studied over the past 50 years. Listen really carefully to what they're going to explain to you over the next few minutes. And if you're wise, if you've got your ear to the ground, you're going to see how your results will change dramatically, how you can multiply your income, you can improve your relationships, and you can live in a healthy body. I have studied for a long time. These people have got the answers for you. Listen carefully to them. Hello there. And
hello and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world joining us today. I am beyond thrilled to welcome you today to our live training, the 2024 Millionaire Self-Image Challenge with Anu. My name is Enya Epele, and I am a success advisor with the Paradigm Shift Institute. I joined PSI about a year ago now, and wow, how time flies. And it has been a whole new experience for me. I had strong and unhealthy money paradigms, which I had imbibed from family and societal conditioning. I know without exaggeration that since then, I have done thrice as much in terms of income. And that income was earned based on my service. And I have done thrice as much as before. And this was because of my added confidence and decisive action since joining the PSI Elite Coaching Program. And I am definitely on an intentional journey to earning more. So I have been challenged and stretched more than I ever have been. But I am grateful for the opportunity to expand and surprise myself in terms of what I am capable of. So I am so thrilled to have you join us today for this amazing challenge and event. And I am extending warm greetings from the entire team for this 3-day live event happening right here in our Facebook group and streaming on YouTube as well. So if you're here live right now watching this, just know that you are in the right place. I hope you realize that there is no such thing as a coincidence. So if you're here now, it is because you are meant to be here, and I am glad that you are. Now, I will need you to set aside all distractions, grab your pen and a piece of paper or a notepad, put your phone on silent, close all your other browsers, and give your full attention to Anu, who's going to be our host today for the next couple of hours. She will be sharing the secret behind how to change your self-image to the millionaire status so you can increase your wealth status. You are going to learn about your self-image and how it affects virtually every part of your life, including your ability to earn. You're going to learn how to turn crisis into creative opportunity, and there's so much more in store for you. You're also going to learn how to root out negativity, that we have in our self-image and use it to produce amazing results. So there is a formula and a system that can bring you the success that you deserve in 2024, and this is where you're going to learn it. So please listen to a couple of housekeeping items. There will be a replay available each day right after the event for 7 days. And you're going to have a week to watch them. Feel free to watch them as many times as you can. Note that the workbook has been sent to your email if you registered and is in the guide section for those who are already in the group. So please go download it or get a dedicated notebook that you can use alongside, because you're going to really need to put down a lot of what you're going to hear. The chat box is open. Please use it to ask questions and put in your comments throughout these trainings. Our team will interact with you to make sure we answer as many questions as possible when we're having our Q&A session on day 3. So at the end of the session, you will be given an assignment to complete before the next day, and you'll be hearing more from me around that. We promise you that this is going to get you moving towards gaining your 2024 millionaire self-image. Anu, myself, and the entire team are looking forward to giving you an amazing event and look forward to spending the next couple of days with you. Now, before I hand over to Anu, please pay attention to the short video that will be presented about her life and journey.
Imagine this, you're earning just $12 a month, yet you dream of becoming a millionaire. Sounds like a fantasy, right? Well, not for Anu Wadhwasaini. Born into an impoverished family in India, Anu's childhood was far from easy. Her mother made cow dung cakes to fuel their stove, while her father's untimely death due to lack of financial resources left a void in her life. Adding salt to her wounds, Anu was blamed for her father's death by a family friend who accused her of being too ambitious. Devastated, she stopped eating and drinking, losing considerable weight. But the day her mother fell ill, something clicked. Anu realized that she had to step up and become the breadwinner for her family. Anu made a promise. She would change their lives for the better. Driven by an unyielding desire to escape poverty, she decided to move to New Zealand. The only problem? She needed $22,000, money she didn't have. Undeterred, she asked 10 friends to lend her $2,500 each. In a miraculous turn of events, every single one of them agreed. Arriving in New Zealand, Anu faced new challenges. She enrolled in a program irrelevant to her physiotherapy field and ended up losing about $14,000 of her borrowed money. But she didn't let these setbacks break her. She worked tirelessly, paid off her debt, and brought her family to New Zealand. From being a caregiver to a co-restaurant owner, Anu wore many hats, eventually earning 6 figures a year. However, a turning point came when her request for a pay rise was denied despite her high performance. She felt reduced to a number, and that's when she decided to take control. She invested in herself, sought coaching from the best, and started her own business. Today, she turns her annual 6 figures into monthly earnings, doing what she loves. Recognized as a top 1% consultant globally, Anu is a property investor with a portfolio spanning 3 countries and serves clients in 26 countries. She uses her experience to help others shift their paradigms and multiply their results. Anu's story is a testament to the power of determination and resilience. It shows how one can rise from poverty to success. It makes you wonder what's stopping you from pursuing your impossible dream. Bill Gates once said, "If you are born poor, it's not your mistake, but if you die poor, it's your mistake." So what are you waiting for? Your time is now.
Let me add here, following this video, that because of where she's coming from, Anu is also a philanthropist who uses 10% of her business profits to help grant disadvantaged children access to quality education. So as I hand over to Anu, who has become, more than a coach to me, but also a friend, I would like her to please share with our listeners first the story behind why we came up with this event. So welcome, Anu. Good to see you.
Thank you. That was a great intro and welcome everyone. I'm so excited to actually serve you at this event because I really am a product of the self-image, and I hope the story has inspired you. And why we came up with this was
Imagine this.
let me actually go a little bit in more depth. But before I do that, I do want to say thank you. Thank you, Inia. Thank you, Pragati, who is doing all that work behind the scene. Thank you, everyone, in the part of the Paradigm Shift Institute for making this event happen actually at a very short notice. So I'm grateful to all of you. And thank you to you guys who are here, who are really committed to make a change in your results, in your life. And that is why you're here, right? So you should be proud of yourself. You could have been anywhere else, but you're here. You made that decision. So well done. Now, why we came up with this? 2024, Millionaire Self-Image. So 2024, as we are only about 18 days away for this new year. And why Millionaire Self-Image? We were thinking of what can we do? How can we serve our people, what we can teach that which would have a biggest impact, and they can really have the shift in their results in 3 days. And to be honest, we could not think of anything else than self-image. And why millionaire? Millionaire, it's a word. It could be a huge thing for someone, and it could be a small thing for someone. And I remember Bob Proctor used to say this: millionaire, what million figure, it's really all about your perceptions. It's not really about the figure. It's whatever you're thinking makes it so. So if you think it's big, it is big. If you think it's small, then it is small. So what do you want to feel when you're hearing this word millionaire? That's all really depends on your perception about this figure. So millionaire self-image, and why it is challenge, because this 3 days event is designed to stretch you. It is designed with all the exercises, the activities, the homework you're going to be given, the steps we're going to be guiding you through. It is really designed to stretch you and really make you feel, okay, I need to take this action. I need to do this thing, whether it is making me feel good, uncomfortable, you do that regardless. And that is why it is a challenge. So that's how we came up with this. And I promise you, if you really want 2024 to be your best year ever, this, what you're going to be learning in these 3 days, not only by learning, not only by listening, if you're going to be taking action on everything what we share here, you're going to make it. You are definitely going to make that as a best year. So thank you, Inia.
Great. Thank you for that, Anu. So with that, let me welcome the woman of the moment. The floor is all yours.
Great. Thanks, Inia. Right. So before we get started, why don't you introduce yourself, where you're joining us from, and your name? I have got this StreamYard thing, so until you really type your name, I can't see the names here. So if you can, that would be great. Where you're joining us from, what's your name, what you do. So really bring the energy here, because whatever you're going to put out, you're going to get back. So really shake yourself up, put your focus in here, leave all the distractions behind. Just be here for this 2 hours or 2.5 hours and make notes, ask any questions. We will be addressing those on day 3. Okay, so who is ready to quantum leap their income in 2024? Let me know in the comment section. Who is ready to embrace their millionaire self-image? Say me if that's you. If that's you. There's so festive vibes around, because of the Christmas, the New Year. It's only 18 days away. And, there's so many celebrations going around. The malls are busy and everything. it is such an encouraging environment to go within, and set yourself for quantum leaps in 2024. It truly is, because, we are emotional being, right? So it is very easy for people, until you're aware, to get impacted by what is going around you. Now, these days, with this festive vibes around, it is easy comparatively to feel good. And what is feeling good? It's the conscious awareness of the vibration you at. So technically, this time is actually comparatively easier for you to create something big. So don't wait for the new year, because that's when things are going to start to kind of, that's when people set up their resolution, and then it's there for a few days, and then kind of it goes down the hill, right? But use this time to really set yourself for this, whatever the bigger goal. We will discuss that in the next few slides, and really commit, because it's going to be comparatively easier, I promise you. And the information which we're going to be sharing with you, you'd be like, yes, I'm all set. So very well done for being here. I'm just going to check the comments in here, because I'm not able to see. Just give me one moment, guys. Okay, so welcome everyone. Welcome Sharad, welcome Habiba. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Welcome Marjan, welcome Hemant, welcome Roderick, Shimi, welcome Hemant, and welcome Renee. Right, so now, when I ask you this millionaire, what comes in your mind? Does it bring excitement, or does it make you worried? Let me know. What does it bring in your mind when I say millionaire? Let me know in the comment. The main idea we're trying to convey here, that how does successful people self-image is like. That's what we're going to share, because when we say self-image, what comes in your mind? What do you understand about self-image? Let me know in the comment, because it's not only about learning, it's also about unlearning something which is not right, and then relearning, right? So what do you understand from this word self-image? Because that's very important. What we're going to be covering today is, so in this event, as Ine has mentioned, so we'll be covering all that. But today we'll be covering 2 things you must know to get money and time freedom. What is a self-image? How is it controlling all areas of your life? And how to conquer the demon within, which is limiting your success. So before we get started with this, I do want to ask you, in the scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling right now? 1 being not very good, 10 being excellent. And I will be asking you the same question at the end of the session today. And I really want you to understand, it is very important to really be aware of and ask this question quite regularly along the day. How am I feeling? Because when you know how are you feeling, that is going to tell you where you are vibrating. And when you know where you are, then only you can fix, right? So how are you feeling on the scale of 1 to 10? Let me know in the comment section. So my comments are coming really slow, so I'm not really able to see any answers yet. So do put it in. Out of 1 to 10, where are you in the scale? Now, I do want to say welcome to everyone who is watching us on the YouTube. If you can join our group, please do so. If Prati, you can put the link in there so that people can join in a group, that would be good. Now, let's chat about goals, right? Because that's what this event is all about, that this is what are you going to achieve by upgrading your self-image. So there are 3 types of goal. One is the A-type goal. That is, you know how to do it. B-type goal is a goal with which you think you can do it. C-type goal is a goal you really want to do, it makes you scared as well as it excites you, but you have no idea how to do it. So that's the type of the goals we want you to set up for 2024. So tell us one goal you want to achieve, and I should say one C-type goal you want to achieve in 2024. Claim it by putting in the comment section. Trust me, our paradigms, our conditioning really makes us feel that, oh no, we should keep the information within, we shouldn't be really saying that, what if I don't achieve, what others are going to think about. This is the platform where you can put all that aside and really be here, not worrying about what others are going to think, because this is the supportive community, and everyone is here to encourage you. So claim it. What C-type goal are you going to manifest, or are you going to achieve in 2024, and claim it now? Put that in the comment section. So we make sure that we're going to keep you, accountable for that goal. Now, 2 things you must know to create the time and a money freedom. You got to know, very first thing, where you are, and then where you want to go. Then you may say, well, it is so simple and so obvious, then why people are stuck? Only 5% people make their goal happen, and 95% are stuck. Everyone has a goal or a want, right? That's not really the problem is. The problem is where we are. That's where the problem is. So, we've got something which controls us. Can anyone guess what that is? Why people are stuck? Can anyone tell? So I'm not able to see comments today for some reason. So what is that thing which controls us? And that is called our paradigms, the demon within. If we really learn how to shift that, it's easy. It's easy to quantum leaps. But how do we do that? And let's understand first what paradigm is. Now, paradigm is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. And almost all of our behavior is habitual. It's a multitude of our habits which controls our behavior. Now, where is it sitting? There's not even one seminar I remember when Bob Proctor has not taught about the paradigms. He said, doesn't matter how many times have you heard of this, the paradigms are so damn important to understand that without shifting them, you can't change your results. And he said, I want each one of you, and he said that to all the consultants, that I want each one of you to make sure that you share this information in every single event. And I know there's few people here who has heard Bob, who has heard us before, and they're probably going, oh, I know this stuff. If your results are still where you don't want them to be, then you need to hear this over and over and over again until it really goes to your subconscious, until you really understand. Because intellectual knowledge of this is not going to make any change. It's when you really accept in your subconscious, that's where you would see the change in the results. Okay, so now what really are paradigm controls? These are the 5 things which really paradigms controls. Just give me one moment, guys. I think I really wanted to capture this because we need to fix one thing in here. So, right now, the paradigms controls the ability to earn money. Now, if your income goal is to multiply your income in 2024, and you say, well, I'm going to do this if I follow this strategy, if I did this marketing, if I, really worked on this business plan. But if you didn't shift your paradigms, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Your paradigms control your perception. I just talked about, what your perception is about this million word, right? It controls that. As soon as your paradigm shifts, you don't really see that as that big figure. It controls your use of time, right? It controls the use of time. It controls the creativity, effectiveness, your productivity, your logic. I was speaking to a client yesterday, and he was saying, Anu, I feel, I do so, he just actually joined us. So he was struggling with the productivity. And I made him explain, so the paradigms really control how you use your time and how productive are you, right? A billionaire and a broke person, they both stay in the same planet. We all have 24 hours a day. Why one is different from another? Your paradigm. So I hope this makes sense, right? The why paradigm is so important and why it's important to understand. And until your, paradigms are not changing, you're not going to be able to change much results. And we've already covered this, right? So this is really covering all of this things. If you don't really control or shift your paradigms, it's not going to really change any of this, what is mentioned here. Now, you may say, well, okay, I want change, which is huge. And that change will be huge when you're able to shift the paradigms in a huge way. Imagine you're earning 100,000 a year. You want to make it 100,000 a month. From here to there, you're operating on a different paradigm, and here is a different paradigm. So to go from here to there has to be a huge shift in the way you operate. And that's going to happen by shifting that. And that's what the Paradigm Shift Institute is all about. We help people with shifting their money paradigms, and that's how they're able to really multiply their results. Now, there's two ways, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow, that how paradigms can be shifted. One is through the emotional impact, and the other one is through elite coaching. Now, you have listened to the story, which was shared, about me in the beginning of the session. What you heard in there was an emotional impact, right? When I lost my father, the decisions I made, it started to change things for me. That was the emotional impact, but it doesn't happen that common, right? And we don't want that kind of loss in our life to be able to get the quantum leaps. So there is another way, and that is through the elite coaching. Now, when paradigms stay in control, nothing changes. Nothing changes. I do want to encourage our YouTubers to come and join our group, because I can see there's about 1,000+ people there. Pragti, can you please put a link there so they can join us in our group as well? So, and please let us know in the comments section where you're joining us from. Now, let's go deeper in this. To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm. You may say, well, Anu, I'm willing, but you may not be able to. And that's exactly what we do, right? Now, what is the strongest paradigm of all? In my opinion, the strongest paradigm of all is our self-image. And that's exactly what we're covering in this event, right? So what matters most is how you see yourself. How you see yourself, not how others sees you. And that's exactly is our self-image, right? So I really like this picture. It tells everything. Do you want to feel helpless, or do you want to see yourself as a king with the full of confidence? It's all how you see you in your own mind, right? Now, I'm not talking about the outer image. So this image, what we, reflecting in the camera and the mirror, I'm talking about the image within in your own mind, right? So let's talk about the outer image, because I think when we talk about the image, we know that people seem to think the physical outer experience. So you have an outer image. It's the one that you project to the world by the way you walk, talk, dress, and meet and greet other people. That the image is the outer expression of the inner image. Now, Dr. Maxwell, in this book, The Psycho-Cybernetics, he discovered, so he was a plastic surgeon, right? And he was the one who actually came up with this philosophy around the self-image. So what he realized when he used to do these surgeries, the face surgeries of people, by doing a new nose, or really removing a scar and doing a new face, putting a different skin and making it look more beautiful. What he realized, as soon as he was able to improve their outer appearance, their personality improved. They got more, outgoing. They got more confident. Their personality completely improved, and they got, and he was like, wow, that's good. But on the same time, what he realized, that there were other people who he did this surgery as well, and their surgery was probably, a more extensive than the other, and their physical appearance improved more than the others, but he saw no change in their personality. He saw there was no confidence rise in those people. So that made him think, that made him realize, well, there's going to be something which is different from just an outer image. So he realized it's not only the outer appearance, the outer image, which is controlling people's result. There's something within as well, because that's how he was able to see the difference between two different sets of people. And then he discovered the self-image. He had a patient who was wanting to be a speaker, and he had a great story he wanted to share with the audience, right? But due to his appearance, he thought, no, he's not good enough. So that was his belief, even though he got the surgery done and he still was feeling that. But until he shifted his belief, he was able to share his message. Not only he shared the message, he became a very popular speaker. And that's all when he was able to shift his or upgrade his self-image. Now, the self-image is one of the strongest paradigm, as I mentioned before, we all hold, which controls all areas of our life. Now, this is not only for income. When you upgrade your self-image, it improves your relationships, it improves your health, it improves your financial results. It makes you spiritually strong as well. And without upgrading this, you cannot change your results. You can't. And we'll talk more about that, why and how. The self-image is the key to human personality, human behavior. Change the self-image and you change the personality and the behavior. That's what is the purpose of this event, to help you upgrade and really see that shift within your results in a very short period of time. The self-image is the key to unlocking your true potential. If you have been thinking that I've done all that, I've attended this webinar, I've attended this seminar, I've read many books, but I'm still stuck. I really hear that from a lot of people when we have chat with them. Then I want to assure you that you are at the right place. The self-image upgrade is the key you have been looking for. And that really is going to shift things for you. Self-image is your own concept of the type of the person you are. It is really a belief about your own self. So what is your concept of yourself? Let me know in the comment. What is your concept of yourself? What is your belief about yourself? And you may say, well, I mean, what do you mean? What is my concept? As an example, if you say, I am a very honest person, right? If you see yourself as an honest person, then that means you can't steal, right? So that's very easy. However, if you see yourself, if you think you are dumb, then you can't excel in the performance because it will make your belief wrong. So what is your concept about yourself? What is your concept about the goal you have decided for 2024? Let me know in the comments. Do you feel it's easy? Do you feel you can really make it happen? What is your concept? Let me know, please. I really want to read the comments. Okay, I'm just going to change something here so I can say it would be fun reading and then interact as well. Oh yeah, I think I can see some now. So when you think of what is my concept about myself, really think about that. Would my current concept about myself help me towards my C-type goal? There's something about a couple of hours before this event, I was chatting to my mom. And I usually, whenever, I go for anywhere or I, go for any events or I do something, I usually talk to her and I take her blessing. And I was talking to her, she said something which really reminded me of what has been a really helpful thing for me in this journey. She said to me, Anu, you're going to nail it. We know whatever you decide, you're going to make it happen, no matter how hard it is. As soon as she said that, I'm not really sharing that in any proudy way. I really want to explain you what I mean here. As soon as she said that, I remembered my father used to say something similar. My brother always say this, oh, you're going to make it happen. And I realized all of these comments, they really help, that really helped me to build that stronger image about myself within my own mind about goal achievement. And that is why I'm grateful that any goal I do decide, I know with the help, with the actions, and I do make it happen. And I'm grateful for that. But that's because of the self-image I have been fed. Now, it also reminded me, and that's so powerful here, and it's probably a little bit, not really part of this content I was planning. What self-image are you feeding to your kids? This is so important, right? What are you telling your kids? Because if this, what mom said to me just 2 hours ago, and this really reminded me, she's been saying that to me. My family kept saying that to me, and that really helped. And that was all helping me to build that self-image. And I remember, a few days before, I was chatting to my daughter when she was going to sleep, and she likes to hear stories and stuff. And then she said something, Mom, I'm very shy at school. And then I could feel she was feeling lack of confidence. And then one thing we started doing just before she goes to sleep, really helping her to affirm that, no, she's confident. And I reminded her a few of the things she does, and she's intelligent. And that's important that as a parents that we do that with our kids, right? That this self-image is not only going to help you with your results, it is going to help your kids, it's going to help your partner, it's going to help your family. So your job is to really spread that message across. That's where we would be able to make this impact on a bigger level, right? So really think about that. What is your concept about yourself? Now, it's not who you are that holds us back. It's who you think you're not. It's who you think you're not. What do you think you're not? What do you think you're not? I remember when I decided to be in inner circle, with Bob. And people who don't know what inner circle is, that's like they choose top 20 consultants globally, and there are more than 3,500 consultants with Bob. And whoever used to get in top 20s used to get the personal training coaching from Bob. And when I started my journey in this, I decided to become, I really wanted to become an inner circle qualifier with him. In other words, this top 1% consultant. And what kept coming in my mind was, well, I'm not that confident. I am not that popular. I don't have following. Why would people buy from me? Who do I think I am? All of that. And I remember chatting to Bob and telling him that, can you help me with this? I really want to be in inner circle, but these thoughts keep coming back to me. And he reminded me that I was really focusing on who I thought I was not. So what do you think you're not? Because that is going to keep holding you back until you address that. And obviously he helped me with, different exercise to move from that place. And I will be sharing that with you as well. But you do need to know what is that you're not is holding you. Let me know in the comment. What is that one thing you're feeling it is keeping you stuck? What comes in your mind when you're really about ready to take that action and it holds you back? What is that? Share it with us so we can probably give you some more tips how to move from that place. We can definitely address those in the question and answer session. Now, I really love this one. If I want to be free, I've got to be me. If I want to be free, I've got to be me. Not the me I think you think I should be. Not the me I think my wife or my husband thinks I should be. Not the me I think my kids think I should be. But if I want to be free, I've got to be me. You know what? So I better know who me is. Do you know who me is? Who are we? Are we this body? Bob used to really say, "Who are we this body? My name, Anu?" No, we are not just limited to that. And that's what really is when you understand this, we're not just limited to this body. We are way beyond that. That's where you're going to start to tap into your infinite potential. We are spiritual beings wearing this body. Now, when you hear this, that we are spiritual being wearing this body, doesn't it take some pressure off? Doesn't it make you feel easy? We all are so unique in this creation. We don't need to have a competition. We don't need to really copy anyone or have any envy with anyone that, oh, why that person is ahead, why that person is doing well, why I can't. That energy is not going to help you to create. We all are unique in this creation. When I shared this story around being in an inner circle, to complete that, I did get to an inner circle in my very first quarter with them. And that was obviously, just because I was able to upgrade my self-image, and that was all without ads, without any testimonials, without any website. And I wasn't copying anyone. Why? Because I was just being me. I was being authentic, and I was really following. I was committed. I was taking all the actions what my coach was helping me with. Now, are you coachable? Are you willing to take the actions on everything what we're sharing here? Because that's where you would be able to go into this 5% instead of remaining at 95% of people who are going to remain stuck. So are you going to take action? Put action in the comment if that's you. Put action that if that's you. You will never outperform your self-image. Now, this is very, very important to understand. It's a great reminder. You may have heard this before, but it's a reminder to really sit back and ask yourself honestly that if I cannot outperform how I see myself, then I better upgrade that, right? I'm earning 100,000 a year. I want to make, and I keep coming back to this example because I think this was so huge for me when I decided to do this. And that's probably where I was vibrationally. And I think I probably attract more people who want to achieve similar. So I keep going back to that, but you can change it to in your example, in your goal, right? So if you want to make from 100,000 a year to 100,000 a month, you can't keep seeing yourself in the same way. You have to start to see yourself differently, who is earning 100,000 a month. I've upgraded my self-image a few times. When I came from India to New Zealand, I changed my self-image. I became a student, to breadwinner for the family. Before that, I upgraded my self-image. And then becoming from an expat to, an employee, a corporate employee, winning awards on national level with the corporate. I upgraded my self-image. Now becoming from an employee to become an successful entrepreneur, I had to upgrade my self-image. So it's not that you do that once. Every time you change your goal, you would have to change who you need to become to be able to carry that goal. So it's not really about the goal. You would have to have the capacity to be able to really live that, right? So you would have to become that person. So, like in the story which we shared earlier on, coming from this place of where we were just renting a tiny room back home, right? To having a rental portfolio in 3 different countries. Do you think it could have happened if I wasn't thinking differently about myself? No. And I'm so grateful for Bob Proctor, who's my mentor. It could not have happened. Like I did all that, but I was an unconscious competent. When I met him, he was like, when I told him about my story, and he was like, you were unconscious competent all this long. So I was doing everything right. I was doing things by law, not by luck. But now I could understand when he was explaining me. And that became easy because now I knew what was working for me, and I started to do more of that. And I started to share with our clients, and that's where they were able to achieve the similar results. So it's going to happen when you upgrade your self-image. Now, I really love this. It's in the Bible, physician, heal thyself, means you are the only one who can improve yourself. We've been talking about upgrading your self-image. Who can do that though? Did Bob do it for me? No. He guided me. I did it for me. Can I do it for you? No. You have to take the actions. We can guide you. We can hold your hand, but you have to do it yourself. So always remember that you are the hero of your own movie. You are the producer. You are the director. You are the chief actor of your own movie. Your results are always a reflection of what is going on internally. If you have a negative or a bad image of yourself, your results are going to be a reflection of that image. While I'm saying this, the goals you have decided, I don't know if you have put in the comment section. If you haven't, please do so. What is your goal you want to achieve in 2024? I really want you to ask yourself, can I actually see myself achieving that goal? Or do you struggle seeing yourself there? If you do struggle, it needs to be worked within first. I had a client from London. When she's joined us with our coaching program, she she really wanted to. She was, she loved Bob. She, loved chatting with us, and she was like, you know what, my intuition is telling me I should do this, and she joined us. But she didn't have the full fund, so she paid 50%, and then she decided that she was going to pay 50% in a month time using one of the exercise we help you with. It's a 30 days manifestation guide, and she, in the beginning, she struggled that how would she be able to even earn the remaining amount in 30 days, because she never did that. So that was kind of her 3 or 4 months income, what was deciding to manifest in 30 days. She wasn't able to see herself. And then obviously when we helped her through the process, and I even remember she came back to us in 2 weeks' time and said, oh, no, I'm not sure. I don't know how I'm going to pay the remaining. And I said, keep doing the work. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And on 29th day, she came back and she said, Anu, send me the invoice for the remaining full amount. Why? That shifted. She was able to earn that 3-4 months income in 29 days because she started to see herself achieving that. And that was the part of this exercise which we help with, right? So that's going to happen if you start seeing yourself in here. So make sure that if you have a problem imagining in here, you need help. Let us know any questions you may have. We'll address that in day 3. But we'll be covering a lot of that in tomorrow's content as well. Now, the self-image that is fixed in your subconscious mind will determine how the rest of the world will see you. You are the only person in this entire world that has the ability to alter or improve your self-image. Only you, right? So we have 2 parts to our mind. I'll share that in our, I think it's in a couple of slides. That would be easier. So the self-image is actually sitting in our subconscious, the bottom part of the mind. There's an image, I really love this one. I think it's quite deep. If you really need to understand that there is an image of perfection that is resident in the center of your consciousness. The more you move in the direction of that image, the more your life will improve. There's no end to the good that you can experience as you develop a greater awareness of the perfection that does lie within you. That does lie within you. So you don't need to copy anyone, no comparing anyone. The more you move in the direction of that image, the more your life will improve. There's no end to the good. There is no end, right? Doesn't it make you feel good? There's no end to it. So you just need to create that image, and then you need to move in the direction of that image. Self-image. We've talked about it's an image, how you see yourself in your own mind. That's what really, your self-image is what you draw in your life. So if you say, I'm having a lot of struggle, I'm attracting a lot of negativity, then check your self-image, because that's exactly what you draw in life. Self-image is like that cybernetic system. I've got at the moment 20 degrees set up in my room, right? So if I have this at 20 here, can I actually expect the temperature to increase without I change it here? No. Can I expect that to drop without changing it here? No, right? So similarly, self-image is our cybernetic system in our mind. So there's so many examples we can do, right? So let's have a look into this example. So a flight, when it flies, it has got this program, right, within it's the computer system, that when plane goes off course, the cybernetic system measures the deviation from the set goal, and it corrects the flight patterns. So like, say, for example, the flight is going from Chicago to Paris, it deviates, right? It doesn't always stay on the route, but as soon as it deviates, the cybernetic system, which is built within, it brings it back, right? It brings it back to the route, to where it is destined to go. Similarly, our self-image is like that. So our self-image is this sitting in the subconscious mind, right? Now, as you can see in this, the top part of the circle is the conscious mind, and the bottom part of the circle is the subconscious mind. So the bottom part of the circle, that's where the self-image is sitting. It's sitting in our subconscious mind. So if your subconscious is thinking you are overweight, and you made the decision to change your diet, you make the decision to do certain exercises, or you join a program, but you keep seeing yourself as overweight, it's not going to bring much change in your weight. It's not going to change your results, right? So why? Because self-image is really a cybernetic system within. Similarly, if you want to change your income, if your self-image hasn't changed, you can't really change the results. Now, how your cybernetic system works inside you, that is what we have discussed in these two examples, the plain, the overweight example. But the question is, how do you use this in your favor? The information, what you're learning, you think, okay, Anu, I get it, but how do I really use that? How does it help me to achieve my mega goals? So let's explore that a little bit more deeper. Before that, we need to understand how self-image is built. And I think I kind of touched on that in the beginning of the session in the example I used, that my mom was saying, what she was saying and what we should be saying to our kids. Because our previous experiences, our failures, our successes, our, any humiliations, any the way people react to us or how they talk to us, all that can cause the self-image we hold about ourselves. So, for example, if you're told again and again and again you are shy, that will keep building in your subconscious mind. And when you accept that idea, it really is going to become your belief. And that is how you would start talking to others, that, oh, I'm shy. So that is very important. What information are you really accepting in your conscious mind? And obviously, kids can't do that. So that's where our job comes in, that we need to make sure, what are we feeding? A teacher needs to make sure that what are you feeding to the kids? Because you're building their self-image. Is it making sense, guys? Let me know. Are you with me? Can you hear me? I really love this. Thanks, Sharad. So I really love this statement from Napoleon Hill. This is one of my favorite one, that there is a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. No one is ready for a thing until they believe they can acquire it. The state of mind must be belief, not mere hope or wish. Open-mindedness is essential for belief. The closed mind will not inspire faith, courage, and belief. Now, remember, until they believe. So it's not mere hope or wish. Now, the goal you have decided for 2024, do you believe you can achieve that? Say yes if you can believe. If you cannot, be honest and say, no, I do struggle. Let me know. Until you believe, you're not going to get there. And that is why Napoleon Hill mentioned here in this Think and Grow Rich book that no more effort is required. Now, pay attention to this, guys. No more effort is required to aim high in life, to demand abundance and prosperity than is required to accept misery and poverty. In my example, in my story, what you just heard, right? It was challenging to come from that place, yes, there were struggles, but was it doable? Yes. Now, if I look back, that the journey from $12 a month to about $8,300 something a month was very challenging. But the journey from 8,300 something to 100,000 a month was not as much as challenging. So it is so true when I read this here with this level of awareness, that no more effort is required to aim high in life, to demand abundance and prosperity than is required to accept misery and poverty. So what do you want to aim then? High Or you just say, well, oh, I'm earning this much. If I had this couple of grand rise, I'd be okay with that. I was there. Well, when I was in my corporate job, doing well, I was so good in my sales. I had this high performance award, from this corporate company on national level. And there was so much of competition and all that, right? So I was like, yes, I want to get the pay rise. And they gave me some pay rise. I was like, no, I should be given more because my performance was better than everyone else. But, they said no, whether I take it or leave it. And I'm grateful for that. The point I'm trying to convey here, trust me, the people who are here employee, who is here an employee? Let me know if that's you, because you would understand what I'm saying here. There, I put in so much effort. I took screenshots of all my sales. I recorded everything. I prepared a presentation, went to the manager, then managers, then HR, trying to convince them why I should be given a couple of $1,000 rise in a year. Like it's literally about, 50 cents an hour. What I was focusing on. And I went through so much pain, feeling that I've given a decade of my life to this company. And here I listened to Bob. You can turn your annual income into monthly. I'm like, what? Really? Can I really do that? I couldn't believe this, but I borrowed his belief. And when I changed my focus, I was able to turn my annual into monthly. Now imagine if I stayed stuck there. Here I was thinking, put in so much effort to get 2,000 more, and here I made my annual income in a month. And it has been many times when it turned into weekly income. But why? How it happened though? I wasn't only hoping or wishing, I started to believe. Not in the beginning, but through the process, through the coaching, I did start to believe. And that's where it's not going to be hope or wish. So if you think, oh, I want that, trust me, everyone wants financial freedom, but not everyone get it. You have to be ready to receive. You have to believe. It's not going to happen if you're not going to believe. So how do you use this power though? How to use the power of your belief to your benefit? When your belief is fused with the action, that's where the magic happens. In the beginning, if you're at the place where you don't believe, firstly, you have to make sure that you are in the right environment. There's someone there who believes in you, and you borrow their belief. You borrow my belief. If I could do the changes, the goals I have achieved from coming from the place I was, if I can do it, so can you. I'm pretty sure everyone here, you haven't experienced those extreme circumstances, and you should be grateful for that. If I could, and so can you. So borrow my belief. I borrowed Bob's belief in the beginning. Borrow our belief that you can reach your big goal in 2024. Borrow our belief that you can change your life until you build your new belief. Until. Belief, and your belief will create the fact. It is so true. I had a client, Vishnu, who was earning about $1,000, I believe, about 1,000 USD a month. And I remember when he started coaching with us, he said, I want to make 10,000 a month. So he wanted to literally about 10 annual income into monthly, so 10 times. But he didn't believe in the beginning. He borrowed our belief. And obviously he went through, a blueprint we share and the coaching and everything. Now he's multiplied his income by 20 times and more. I think probably 25. So he's actually going to be here live tomorrow to share his story. This is what can happen. when you shift your belief. Now, you may say, okay, if it is a matter of just belief, oh, I can do that myself, go and do that. Really do that. But if you haven't been able to so far, you know there's something is missing, right? And this event is obviously designed to help you believe you can. And the exercises which we're going to ask you to do, that is going to help you to move from where you are to where you want to be. So how do you change your belief? You know, Bob used to say this: if you frequently reevaluate a situation, your belief about that situation will change. This is how you change your beliefs. So the belief which are not serving you anymore, you have to reevaluate that. And when you reevaluate that belief, now say, for example, you say, well, I earned $100,000 2022, in 2021, in 2020, or maybe less in 2019, less in 2018. I have never earned more than that in my life. And now, Anu, you saying I can make that in a month? There's going to be a blockage, right? Because you haven't experienced that. You don't believe that yet. However, if you start reevaluating after listening to my story, say, right? If Anu could do it, why I can't? Reevaluate, right? Now, I don't have to live in the past. Now, this is new me. I'm different now. Yes, I can expect different results. So when you reevaluate, that's where you're going to bring the change in your belief, right? So how your goal mechanism works. We all have a goal striving mechanism within us. There's two types. So one with the goal known and the other one is without being known. When we are successful at something, our brain remembers that. Now, I want all of you to remember something you achieved in your life. And you're really proud of that. Put in the comment if you can remember. Maybe it's a house or the partner or moving to another country, or whatever that is. Can you remember something which you're really proud of? Put in the comment for me, please. Bring some energy, guys. I don't know, it's my thingy in here. I can't see any comments, or maybe you guys are not there. So please let me know if you're here, right? Can you think of something you're really proud of? Now, when you have achieved something in the past, you remember that, your brain remembers that, and then you can do it again without any further conscious effort because you believe I have done that in the past, I can do it in the future, right? It's, for example, a ball catcher in the cricket field. When they caught the ball, they know they can just move around. When the ball is in the air, they can go in the direction and they can catch the ball. That's the goal striving mechanism within us, right? So this is how it works. Now, our mind is a goal achieving mechanism. Certifying myself as a yoga and pranayama teacher. Excellent, Cheryl. A decision has changed my life. Great. Yeah. So our mind is a goal achieving mechanism. Now, when I say mind, tell me, what do you think where mind exists in our body? Does anyone know? Where is our mind? Here? Where is our mind? It's very important to remember that we as a body, we're not a machine. We have a machine. We are the operator. Our mind is designed in a way that it doesn't work in the past. It does not work in the future. It really gets jammed up when you go in the future or when you go in the past. So how do you make it work? How can you make the most of our mind? You have to live in now to make it work. Now, in every cell. Excellent. How do I pronounce your name? And Rajai? Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. Diamond, can I say that? So, great. Now, we have to live in the moment. It is so important if you're creating your big goals. Now, answer me. If we have to live in the very moment, are you here in this very moment? Let me know if that's you. Yes, me. Put in me. If you're here in this very moment, you're present mentally, you're present spiritually. Are you there? Obviously, physically, we're not. But are you here with us, with your 100% of your mind? Yes, the mind is in every cell of our body. It's not here only. It's in every single cell of our body. The very first key to your success mechanism, how do you activate that? Is by your ability to imagine. There's two ways. I mean, there's many ways, but we're going to discuss two ways. So one is your ability to imagine. You are only limited by the weakness of your attention and a poverty of imagination. Now, when I learned this the very first time, I understood intellectually, but to be honest, I didn't understand the essence of this, really. So go back to the weakness of the attention and the poverty of imagination. This is only what is limiting you. Now tell me, attention and imagination, is that in your control? Can you fix that? Can you change that? When I was in India, I was wanting to go abroad because I knew I couldn't really make things happen there the way I had my goals, and I was engaged and I needed to, I had this pressure to get married. I used to walk to different places, and I used to have this one big shop on the way, and that was a travel shop where the big the pictures on the walls about different cities. And I remember seeing Sky Tower of the Auckland in the image, the planes, and that shop used to really appall me. I'm walking on the road and I used to look at that shop, and something really attracted me. I started going and sitting inside, and I started seeing myself. At that time, I didn't even have my passport. I started seeing myself, how would one day I will come and buy the ticket from here. One day I will travel. One day I will start living like these NRIs, we call it, and I'll have better financial resources. It all started here, right? It all started here. This is how this power, the imagination is powerful is. So are you using this great tool of imagination against you or in your favor? Because I promise you, you're using that whether you know it or not. You are absolutely using it. But pause and think, how are you using it though? All day long, something happens, a situation comes up, something is not working out for you. What do you imagine? Are you using that against you, or are you using in your favor? Probably against you, right? Probably against you. Oh, what if it doesn't work? What if this person did that to me? What if this doesn't go as I expect? What if I invest and then this doesn't work? Right? We use that against us. But what we should be doing is we need to start imagining ourselves living our dream life, imagining ourselves that how would I look like when I am earning that much? How would I talk like? How would I dress like? How would I walk like? You have to start imagining that, right? Do you do that? Do you do that? This is my version of this quote, but Bob used to say, if you can see it in your mind, you can have it in your hand. But I really feel it. If you can see it in your mind and feel it in your heart, you can have it in your hand. Promise you. If you live this, you can come back and, I can guarantee you this. You will never fail. If you can see it here, feel it here, you can have it in your hand. There's so many things, you know, and I can share. And who want, who are new here, they don't know my full story. You can read that in the guide section. I remember when I, there's so many stories coming in my mind that which one I share. I had this thing. We had one property in Auckland, and it had a bigger land. And that was the reason we bought that, because we thought there's a development potential there. And we really wanted to build 6 townhouses there. And we applied and it got declined. We applied for the consent of the council, it got declined. And that was actually the time I just started my journey in this material with Bob. And it got declined. And the reason for the decline was the driveway for our property was not that wide. And here we had, and that was a goal as a couple, me and my husband's goal, that we wanted to have the townhouses in that property. Now, I was able to see it in my mind. I was able to feel it in my heart. It had to happen. But I obviously followed a blueprint, what I was guided and everything. Long story short, what happened one day, a neighbor called us, who was next door to our driveway, right? And we had approached him already whether he was willing to sell his land so we can widen the driveway, and he refused. And we were wanting to pay him even, and he refused. That was before we applied and our consent got declined. And here, a few months later, I remember that day so clearly. I was walking in the driveway and he called me, Anu, do you have a minute? And I went, and he said, hey, our road is getting busier and busier. I had this incident yesterday when he was bringing the trailer in. He said, it's getting quite hard for really taking the trailer out from the same driveway. So what I was thinking, if you're still willing, I'm happy to give you a 3 meter of our land with the condition that you would let me use your part of the land. So he didn't even want the money. So I don't know if you understand that what that did, that one thing made and opened and so many things for us. And we reapplied for 7 townhouses that got approved. Now that one thing, how comes to you? Did I know how it was going to work out? No. But I was able to see it here. I was able to feel it here using the guidance which we help people with. And it got declined for 6 phase, and then second time it got approved for 7 townhouses. That is the power of this material. So don't really underestimate this. This is not really just there to be here and entertain you guys with this. It really works. It works if you put in the work. So are you willing to put in the work? Claim it if that's you. Can you feel your goal in your heart? Say, I can feel it. Can you feel your goal in your heart? If we know we can use our imagination in our favor, so why not imagine yourself being multimillionaire? Why not imagine yourself earning annual income into a monthly? One of the things our subconscious mind can't tell the difference between the real and the imagined. And if we know what we can have it in our mind, we can have it in our hand, then when we're imagining something which we want and we don't have yet, our subconscious mind cannot tell the difference that that's real or not, then it changes our vibration to match with that thought. Then you start feeling there, and eventually you start taking the actions from that place, and then you start getting the results from that place. That's how it works. So this is how powerful your imagination is. But how do you imagine? What is the real secret of that? People say when we talk to them, oh, I know, Anu, I've been doing that for this many years. I've been listening to Bob's meditation for this many years. Oh, I write the goal. And then I ask them, have you achieved your goal? Are you happy with your result? No. Then there's something you're not doing right. When you imagine, you have to imagine with all senses. There's so many things I want to share, and I'm just conscious of the time. Um, who has heard Neville's story? Neville Goddard was the one who was big with the imagination, right? So have you heard of his story? Because if you have, I don't need to repeat that. Now, he talks about that when you're doing the imagination, you will have to use all your senses. You know, I really like the story from the book Psycho-Cybernetics here. There's a story about a guy, I think his name was Capablanca. He was a chess champion. You know, he was upset when he lost the world championship to a guy named Alekhine. You know, Alekhine, he had trained for the match really like a boxer, conditioning himself for a fight. He was retired to the country, and then he played chess only in his mind. And that's how he was able to beat this guy, Capablanca, by playing only his mind over and over and over again in his imagination. Can you believe how powerful that is? He was able to beat a world champion guy by practicing this chess game by playing in his mind. This is how powerful our imagination is. So, imagination is something which is going to keep you moving, and it is going to help you to unblock your limiting beliefs. Now, let's go a little bit more deeper that how do you dehypnotize yourself? Now, I guess the very first thing is you need to understand that you are hypnotized. You know, are you aware? What beliefs are you hypnotized by? Because once you're aware, then only you can dehypnotize them, right? So, what beliefs are you hypnotized by? What beliefs are you hypnotized by? You know, I remember this story in the, I don't know which book that was from. There was a guy who was quite bad in the mathematics in the beginning, and the teacher declared him dumb. And then the teacher told the parents, and they were convinced too that their son was dumb. One day, he had this sudden flash of insight, and he saw how to work on a problem what teacher was teaching in the classroom, and he raised his hand to solve that problem what was put on the board. And everyone started to laugh. Teacher didn't believe he could do that. But he went and he started to work on that problem, and he solved that problem. As soon as he did that, he felt that new confidence within his ability. And teacher was happy, and obviously they sent the report to the parents, and they started to believe, yes, he's good in mathematics. And then he became such a great student of mathematics. This example literally shows how some beliefs can hypnotize you, but how you can dehypnotize them as well, and how you can see the instant results as soon as they are dehypnotized. You know, there's I remember one of my clients, he started us about three and a half months ago. The very first chat we had with him, and I remember he said, I'm pretty happy with my life. And he's a pastor from Nigeria. And he said, money doesn't motivate me. We don't have money goals. Because he's a pastor, his belief was strong around money, that no, maybe having a money goal is not good, right? Who can relate to that? The people who believe in God and they think, oh, having a money goal is greedy, or it's not good, or you shouldn't be having money goals, or you shouldn't be money oriented, and all that stuff. And I remember having a chat with him, and I think within the very first chat, he was able to shift his belief that when he's able to make more money, how many people he can help, because there were so many people he was impacting their life with already with his teachings, because he was a pastor. But he felt there were so many people who could help with their resources if he can start making more money. As soon as he shifted his belief, within 7 weeks, he had paid speaking engagements in 7 countries. He multiplied his income 7 times. Not only that, he attracted publication opportunities in USA, and he's now working on a project which is worth $200 million. It's been only 3.5 months since he's been working with us. Why it worked for him. And I think this is a perfect example of this. As soon as you're aware that you are hypnotized by some beliefs, and in his case was having a money goal is not good, I don't need money. As soon as he was able to shift, now can you imagine on what level he's able to help people now? And obviously he's working, he's still growing. It's only 3.5 months. And I would suggest that if you want to hear his story, please go into the guide section. It is there in one of our, the playlist I've shared with people. That will inspire you. This is what this can do, this material can do. How a false belief can be so dangerous. And how can that work against you? I want to know from a couple of people here. Please share in the comment section. What do you think? What belief is holding you back? And if you were able to remove that, you know it is going to bring a change. So what is that false belief which is holding you? Let me know in the comment section, please. What false belief is holding you back? Be courageous to share it here. Don't be shy. No one is here to judge you. You know, I remember the story, a false belief truly can be dangerous. And I really mean it dangerous. You know, this story about this guy, Mr. Russell, I really like to explain with the example so you can accept that, yes, how it works, right? So this guy, Mr. Russell, Maxwell Morse, who is the plastic surgeon. Mr. Russell was his patient. Mr. Russell had quite big lower lip. He had a girlfriend, he loved her, and when he proposed her, she said that she loves him too, but however, there's something about his appearance, the lower lip, she doesn't like, and she was hesitant to get married. And Mr. Russell decided to do something about that. And he went to Maxwell Morse, who was a plastic surgeon, to do a surgery on his lower lip. And then Russell told Dr. Morse that why he was going through the surgery. And when he told about his story, that why he was going through surgery, Dr. Morse said to Mr. Russell, you know, I am happy to do the surgery for you for a modest cost. However, I have a condition that you're going to say this to your girlfriend after the surgery. Tell her that you have spent all your life saving on this surgery because he loves her so much, and that's why he's done the operation on his lower lip. Right? Obviously, Mr. Russell didn't understand why doctor was asking him, but doctor knew. after the surgery, he was happy. He went to see his girlfriend and he told her, hey, I've spent all my life saving to get this surgery done because I know you didn't like my lower lip. I've done that for you. But as Dr. Maltz expected, the girlfriend got angry. She was like, my God, why did you spend all your money on this? I don't love you. I don't want to marry you. How are you going to even take care of me if you don't have money? So this Mr. Maltz already expected that this is what's going to happen. And that's why he asked him to do that or say that to his girlfriend, right? However, what Mr. Maltz did not expect was this. This girlfriend, she got so angry, she got so upset, and she said to Russell, you've hated me. You know what? I'm going to curse you with voodoo. Now, they were from West Indies, so people probably from that part of the world, they would understand what that is. I don't really know exactly, but I think it is something to do with people who believe in some superstitious stuff. And they say that voodoo can even kill people. So she cursed him with voodoo and she left. Obviously, Russell was not happy. He got scared. He had heard a lot of stuff about voodoo. And a couple of days after, he felt a lump in his lower lip. He went to see another doctor suggested by his friend. And this doctor had a look in his lower lip. And he was told that he's got this African bug, which was quite dangerous. And that is going to impact his immunity system. And it can be even life-threatening if he doesn't take care of. Now, he's got all these beliefs he got fed up with. He started to get sick, further sick. He stopped eating. He wasn't able to digest food well. He started to lose weight. All within a very short period of time. And he started to look 20 years older than how he looked 6 months back. He had this appointment with Mr. Maltz for a review, right? So when you have a surgery, usually surgeon asks you to come and do the review after 3 months or after 6 months. So he was asked to come for a review. And doctor couldn't even recognize him because this guy was quite big, like an athletic body. And now he was looking so skinny and old and so unwell. And Dr. Maltz asked him and he told him all about this African bug. And then Dr. Maltz said to Russell, and I want you to pay attention to this. He said to Russell that, I can take this African bug out of your body within 30 minutes. Just wait and watch. So what doctor did, he did a little surgery and removed that lump. What that lump basically was, it was a collection of some fluid and some waste material which got, collected there after the surgery. And what he thought, what he was told that it's an African bug, but it was actually the post-surgical effect. So he removed that and he showed it to Russell. Here it is, your African bug. It is out of your body. And as soon as doctor was saying that to Russell, the truth, what he heard, it set him free of fear. Like within seconds, he looked more vibrant. He restored his confidence. And truly, within months, he reversed his aging. Now, what is mentioned here, how a false belief can be dangerous and work against you. This example is so perfect for this, that how this false belief around this African bug, this voodoo, this superstitious stuff really aged him 20 years older than how he looked in 6 months. And how a belief removal, a false belief removal served him with this truth and reversed his aging. So you really need to be aware. Stop running around doing this, that. Spend some time with you. And the exercises which we're going to share with you, answer those, because they're going to help you to evaluate what is serving me, what is not serving me. Take that step. Pause. What belief is not serving you? What is really working against you? So now we know how that can hypnotize our abilities, how limiting beliefs can hypnotize our abilities, but how do we go about dehypnotizing them? So the very first one is, we've talked about that around the imagination. So the visualization to dehypnotize your limiting belief. So first you need to really relax. So relaxation is the best way, not only physically, but also mentally. And then go back in the memory, which is probably most pleasant to you. Maybe a place, a peaceful scene, or warmth, a breeze, or someone's touch, or a hug, whatever makes you feel good, or maybe a music. Relax yourself and the visualization, and start seeing what you want to achieve with your mind's eye, with using all your senses. And that is going to help you to dehypnotize that belief which is not serving you. Now, this is another very powerful tool. Is it making sense, guys? Are you here? Are you here spiritually? Are you here mentally? Let me know. Where are you failing out of this 1 to 10 scale? Let me know, please. Put that number for me. 10 feeling great, 1 feeling not good, 5 feeling in the middle. Where are you out of 1 to 10 scale? Let me know, please. So first is the visualization. The second is the power of rational thinking. So the people who are at 7 and 8, great, but my intention is to really move you from here to 10 by the end of this session. So stay with me with 100% of your being, okay? Now, how can we use the rational thinking? We talked about this goal-striving mechanism, which is within us, right? It is so automatic. It really works as, as a machine. Now, if we don't stop, if we don't pause, if we don't reflect, then it keeps going in the same cycle, in the same automatic manner, until we use the rational thinking. Now, rational thinking is something like, if you were in a situation which is not good, or maybe which is you're not enjoying, which you're emotionally involved with, if your friend was in that situation, what would you suggest to them? That is rational thinking, that when you're not involved in that situation emotionally, but you're out of that, what would you suggest to someone around that situation? That's the power of the rational thinking. So go back to your goal you have decided for 2024. And imagine one of your family friend or one of your family member is wanting to break through, but they're struggling. What would you suggest to them? They're really emotional about the situation. They're really stuck, or maybe someone hurt them, or maybe there's someone said something to them and they're really heartbroken by that. What would you suggest to them? Because you're not part of that emotional situation. You are not emotionally connected with that situation. You can think rationally. And this is how you need to think rationally for the belief which is not serving you. So that can be like, is there anyone who's struggling with the belief? Put an example so I can actually probably share that as an example so it would serve you rather than I'm making up any examples here. Please let me know. If you think while I'm waiting for any example here, I'll just go back to the same example around the income I was sharing with you. So if you think, well, I haven't multiplied my income in my past. Say, for example, I'm 35-year-old. Last 5 years has been around this income. You're saying I can turn that annual into monthly in 2024? It doesn't make any sense. I don't believe that. Because my previous results don't dictate that. My previous results don't prove that. Now, how can you use the power of rational thinking here? You can say, well, Anu has shared her story. She was able to change her monthly income from $12 to 6 figures. If she can, so can I. Well, you may have another thought, or maybe her situation is different. Whatever the reason which comes in your mind, then you go back again and then not emotionally involved with that. Well, Bob did that too. He was earning only $4,000 a year, and then he started making $1 million in a year. He didn't even pass the high school. Okay, if he could do that, maybe I can. Now you move from not possible to maybe, right? Let's go deeper. And I'm just really wanting you to understand, because this is how you would suggest to someone else, right? With something they're struggling with. I came across an example recently of this comedian actor, Jim Carrey, right? So they say that in the beginning, he was struggling financially. He was struggling financially so much. And one day, he heard from someone and he wrote a check to himself of $10 million. And he decided, he put a date there that he would make that happen by 1995, I believe. So that was like, he gave himself 5 years of his time, that he would make $10 million by that date. Now, was it just a matter of writing that check? And you can probably do that as well. Yes, go ahead and do that. But do you think it was just a matter of writing the check? No. When he wrote that, he put it everywhere. And then that was reminding him to become the version of that person who he needed to become to be able to earn $10 million. Every time he was challenged with the thought that no, he cannot, he had to change that by his rational thinking. How can he? And then I think that within that 5-year window, on the 5th year only, he did earn $10 million. Now, all these stories I'm sharing here, you can Google, you can check it out. If they can, so can you. If I can, so can you. If Bob could, so can you. We are no different. We are the God's highest form of the creation. We have so much ability within us. We have to use that to convince, to talk to our own self. How can you? Not why you cannot. That is the power of rational thinking. Are you guys with me? I've been stagnant for so long. What have I been doing so consistently, essentially on autopilot? What do I have in my hand to make a difference? Well, I don't know your full situation, my friend, Olyanka, but if you put that through, what tools can I acquire within a time frame to change my path? I mean, you're learning some of that today. We're going to go more deeper in how you actually change the self-image tomorrow. And obviously, we're going to go more deeper on day 3, how millionaires think, act, and feel. So you will be learning all that here. But if you still have any question, I would say submit that so we can address that in day 3. Okay. Now, that's how you are able to dehypnotize the limiting beliefs. The ideas are changed not by will, by other ideas. Now, this is so important, right? When you remove a belief, when you work on a belief which is not serving you and you leave it there, it's not going to work. You have to replace by another powerful and positive idea. What do I mean by that? If you say, I'm going to stop drinking fizzy drinks or soft drinks, then it's not going to serve. However, if you replace that with an idea that I'm going to start drinking more water, you replace that with the water, that really replaces that void, you're more likely to stay in that track rather than going back to the soft drinks. I remember this funny story from Bob. Bob used to say, shared that in one of the seminars. So people who don't know who Bob is, so I'm talking about Bob Proctor. And if you don't know who Bob Proctor is, Bob Proctor is, was one of the, I would say, the best prosperity teacher on the planet. He had 6 years of experience in this personal development material. And he was the main guy in The Secret movie. If you don't know, if you know The Secret movie, it was a really blockbuster and it has impacted billions of lives. I would say more than 1 billion now. So go back and Google it if you don't know him, right? So because I'm going to keep going back and referring to him, because this man really changed my life, and I'm one of the 1% consultant with him. So we do use a lot of his methodologies, but we're not limited to his. So we do add some other ideas, which really helps you more than just spiritual element. Now, this story, Bob said he started, he shared that before he was in the space and development stuff, or maybe he was in the early phase of that. He said he used to drink in the bars. And one day he was drinking in the bar, and then he said he looked around and he felt that people who were in the bar, they looked quite dumb and he didn't like it. So he was like, you know what? I'm not going to drink from now onwards. Because he didn't like the environment. He didn't like the people around who were really so drunk, and he didn't want to look like them. So he decided that. However, what he said that he decided that, but what he replaced that habit with, he started going to the place to do gambling. So he didn't replace that with something positive. And that's he was talking about at the beginning of his journey, right? So similarly, you could have not only removed the idea which doesn't serve you, but also replace with something which is powerful. Now, examine and reevaluate your beliefs. Why do I believe that I can't do something? Is that based upon an actual fact or upon an assumption? Really check. Then ask yourself, is there really any rational reason for such a belief? Could it be that, I'm mistaken in this belief? Or would you suggest the same thing to your friend, what you are suggesting yourself over and over and over again? This moment right here, right now, and this event is a reminder for you to check and reevaluate your beliefs. If I look back in my own story, I had every reason to believe why I cannot achieve the financial results I was seeking. some of the part of the story is not captured in the video. I have been into that phase in my life, and I'm not really, I'm grateful for that. That has made me who I am today. Those struggles has made me stronger. You know, I used to I used to want a cold water coming from school at home. And I remember we didn't have any refrigerator. We could not afford to buy ice at some point. So can you imagine from that place where it just really sometimes makes me very emotional. But I remember that time when I was wanting to study. I didn't care what people think. I was not shameful to get help. And people used to just, take you on the stage to show that how kind they are. They're helping you with the books and the uniforms and the, all that stuff. And they really use you as a showcase, right? On the stage. I've been there. I've been there, how it feels when you have someone very close, like I was very close to my father, that when he's dying, you feel so helpless. You don't have a vehicle at home to take him to the hospital, and you knocking on the door early in the morning to neighbor's house, going from one place to another, that someone will wake up and take him to the hospital. Can you feel how helpless that situation might be? That didn't stop there. Then obviously, when I lost my father, we didn't reach to the hospital on time. And after we come home, his body was brought back home. You know how everyone got together for the morning and before the cremation. And I didn't accept in the beginning. I was in a denial stage because I loved him so much. I just could not accept that he was gone. I didn't cry for first few hours. And I remember sitting beside his body, and a woman came. There's so many people sitting, and she pointed at me and she's like, you are the reason for your father's death. Now, a person you love the most, and here this person comes in and she accused me. No one could understand what she was on about. I didn't understand what she was talking about. And I was like, what? And she said, if you were not too ambitious, he would have been here. So what she was trying to say, my father would have gone to their place a night before he passed away and asked for, to borrow some money for my fees. So I was doing a bachelor's in physiotherapy, and bank declined the loan for my final year fees. And my father was obviously worried, even though I didn't want him to be worried. I didn't tell him, but parents knows, right? As a parents, you do know what your kids want. And he was trying all his best to ask all his friends to borrow money so that I could go and sit for my final year of exam. And he would have gone to her place, and that's how she was expressing her pain. So that really triggered, that's when I cried. And that moment, I was like, no way, I didn't want to live anymore. That was the moment of that emotional impact. I stopped eating and everything. But then when my mother got unwell after a few weeks, that's where, when someone said to me that, do you want to lose her again? All of these incidences, and the reason I'm sharing all this story, I had every single reason to believe I could not achieve the financial freedom I was seeking. I could not. Here, when my mom get unwell, they say we want you to get married. I didn't want her to be upset or didn't want her to lose, and I got engaged. And then I got engaged, but then I asked a promise from them that you are going to give me 2 years of my life. And I will do whatever I want to do in that 2 years. If I don't achieve my goals, I'll come back and I'll get married. Did that. On the day of my engagement, my family planned something which I didn't know. And that was, again, I know that was out of love, because they just wanted me to start my life and get married and go away, and so that I don't worry about their financial situation. And I got to know when they were planning something, I really ran away from the back door of the temple. I was like, no way, no way. You have to take stand for your dreams. It's going to be uneasy. It's not going to be comfortable. People are not going to like it. They're going to talk stuff which you don't want. Are you courageous enough to stick with your goals? You're going to need that. And the reason I'm sharing all that is because life is going to test you. It is going to test you hard. However, when you pass that persistence test, you will have the reward. You will, for sure. So are you ready? You've understood what the self-image is. Before we conclude this session for today, I really want you to check. You understand what the self-image is. You know where you are. Now you're going to do some work on understanding your belief about yourself. And tomorrow is all about how to actually change that. So today you understand what it is, what self-image is, how it is impacting you, how beliefs are stopping you. Tomorrow it is going to be more around how. How do we upgrade that? How do we help you to move from where you are to where you want to be? So you can't afford to miss that tomorrow, right? And then third day is going to be how we take it to the level that where millionaires are, billionaires are. So that's how this 3 days are designed. Now, before I invite my beautiful friend Inia to come and take over and share the assignment with you, I do want you to really answer this one question for me. We are 18 days away for the new year. You are here. It tells me you are here because you want to change your life. You want to change your results. But are you committed? Are you committed to make that change happen? Are you committed to take the actions which are going to make you feel uncomfortable? Are you committed to make the decisions which is going to make you feel uncomfortable? Because you have to do that. It's not going to happen within your comfort zone. Are you ready? Let me know in the comment section if you are committed, if you are ready, put comment. Let me know in the comment section, and let me know. I want to hear from more people before I'm going to invite Inia to come and take over. I want to see this. Excellent. Ready, Sharad? Good. Habiba, is that a yes for ready? Let me know. Are you committed? Ready? Excellent. While you're claiming this, that is actually, you're not actually just letting us know. You're letting universe know, I'm ready. When I decided to come to New Zealand, I told everyone, literally everyone, because I needed help, right? I was claiming it. I was actually telling the universe. So by putting it here, you're claiming it and you are letting the universe know, I'm ready. I'm making it happen. And whatever action you put out, you get the reaction back. So it is going to come back to you, whether it comes back to you in forms of the ideas, in forms of thoughts, in forms of how you feel. So it's not going to go waste. Excellent. I love that. That's great. So thank you, everyone. So Inia, if I can please get you to come and share the assignment, please.
Wow.
That's tomorrow,
And
okay?
that was so powerful. And I really got emotional when you were talking about your story because I know how it feels when somebody that is close to you or that you love doesn't believe in what you're doing. But, one of the things that I admire you is your stick to it approach. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. It was your story, your sharing that really compelled me to come on board. So thank you so much. What a powerful way to kickstart this event.
Thank you for
And I
having me.
believe that
Yeah.
everyone has felt the energy coming from you. So, how do you feel? How do you feel? Can I see, some energy in the chat? How do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10 now? How do you feel? Okay, put it in there. I believe that you will agree that today's lesson came with lots of new ideas. I got so much inspiration. And these are what we need to help jumpstart us into building a new way of being for ourselves. And it's for ourselves, not for anyone else. And I had to come to such a point myself where I had to stand on my own 2 feet and decide that this is what I want, not about what other people want. And I can tell you that's no small feat for someone who has lived their lives based on what other people want. So that is what this event is about, to help upgrade you so that you can begin to see yourself from the status of a millionaire. Who says that you can't be one? So tomorrow, beyond what Anu shared today about paradigms, about cybernetics, about how to dehypnotize your limiting beliefs and how to imagine, she's going to be expanding on how to upgrade your self-image. And of course, we're going to have some live testimonials. Before I come into the assignments, I want you to understand something, that a millionaire self-image is a deep knowing that you are wealthy. You can be, regardless of current circumstances. And it is a journey of courage. Like you heard from Anu's story, it's a journey of courage. And I love how Anu said in an earlier podcast that we had that this is about insane courage. Okay? It takes insane courage to run away from your wedding because that's not what you had in mind for yourself at that time. So courage is non-negotiable on this journey, and you must constantly refill along the way because it's not a once and for all thing. So commitment is non-negotiable. So if you are here up till now, it tells me that you are committed. And I want to be sure or be assured that your commitment is also going to bring you here live tomorrow. And you are the one that has the power to decide that. So today's assignment, which you can see on the screen, was intentionally and deliberately crafted to get you started on this journey. And one of the things I would say, now that you're feeling that energy, this is the time I recommend that you do it. Now, as soon as we end it here. And when you do it, post it in the group and tag any one of us. Make the time to do it because this is about you and your life. Find a quiet space and time. Maybe when everyone has settled in for a nap or gone out for game practice or whatever. If you have to train in your lunch hour, do it. And make sure you sit still until the answers come out of you because they're there. The answers are there. And remember that it is the implementation that shifts the needle. So you can't just sit and expect that these things are going to happen. There has to be an application, an implementation, because that's what's going to build the momentum you need for creation. So you look at the screen, you can see today's assignment. It's also in your workbook. So if you registered for the event, the workbook is in your email. But if you haven't, then if you go to the guide section in the group, you'll find the workbook there. So you can see, how do you really feel about yourself? You have to be honest. What is your inner dialogue most of the time? What beliefs about yourself are holding you back? Who do you have to become to achieve your dream goals? Now, listen, by doing this assignment, you are actually showing deep respect for yourself and your life. And while you're doing it, make sure to allow yourself feel the emotion, because when you feel the emotion, it shows that there is an alignment between your spirit, mind, and body. And this is part of what we teach here as a necessary requirement for the millionaire self-image. And I believe that's why you're here, because you want to develop the millionaire self-image. The more emotions you feel, the more likely that you're going through that process of change. And be honest. Nobody is looking at your answers. This is about you. Be honest, because self-awareness is the key in this process. And I love how someone I heard, phrased it. She said, the only right answer is the honest answer. That's where change begins. So don't be afraid. No matter where you are, it's the right place to start. The best place to start is where you are, right? So screen grab the assignment if you have to, download the workbook, but make sure you do it. And once done, post it as a comment in the group, or you can take a photograph if you like, and tag either myself, Anu, or Pragati, and we will cheer you on. Now, as a reminder, your success advisor has been allocated to you if you registered for this event, but if you don't know who yours is, just kindly mention it and we will get back to you. Remember that replays are available and will be up for 7 days, so make the best use of the opportunity. Now, as is our regular practice, to let you all feel our appreciation of you, all who show up live and submit their assignments will go through a draw and win a special prize from us. If there is anything Anu mentioned that was an aha moment for you, or you probably found difficult to accept, know that we are here to help you. You can book a complimentary call with us so you can find some clarity. And if you have any question or need extra support, book a call. Remember that we're going to have a question and answer session. So if you have any question, you can let us know and we will make sure we answer it on day 3. Your win is our win, and I am sure that our win is yours too. So that's why we are together this week for the next 3 days. And we want to see your current self-image shift. And yes, it can be your reality. So it has been such an exceptional start to an uncommon, unprecedented event, which you will agree all our events are. What are we expecting tomorrow? Okay, I think that was on the screen earlier. Right, what are we going to learn tomorrow? You're going to learn how to upgrade your self-image so you can improve your results. You're going to learn how to get rid of that inferiority complex syndrome. Very interesting. You're going to learn how you can turn crisis into creative opportunities for success and happiness. And there will be a special announcement as well as a live interview with one of us. So I'm sure that just listening to how loaded this is, you're not going to want to miss it. So make sure you are on here live if possible, but otherwise, please watch the replay and indicate by putting hashtag replay and where you watched the replay from. So we'll be back here tomorrow, same place, same time. Join us back in the group. We're also streaming on YouTube at 9 p.m. Brisbane time. So you can check your time converters to know your time in your zone. And please work on being here live because it promises to be a profitable, insightful couple of hours, just like today was. I'm sure you will agree with me on that. We absolutely do not want you to miss it. We are eager to see your homework pasted in the group. Please make sure you get to do it today and enjoy the replay. And we will see you back here tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.